Hello. Is this on? Okay. Hi everyone. Can you let me know if you can hear me okay? It's the obligatory beginning to any live stream. And yeah, and the sound quality is alright? Awesome. Okay. So, and you guys can see, I don't want to be too cocky here, but I think some of the technical problems we've had in the past may be resolved, possibly. Oops. I've got a microphone here stuck to a tripod with some sellotape. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we are going to talk about, well, we're not going to talk about, we're going to practice uncertainty. That is like the theme for this session. And so I'll write it here and we'll come back to it. So one thing I want to make sure that I get by the end of this is at least one plus failed drawings. Because if you're taking risks, it means things have to go wrong sometimes. So there's one thing. And another criterion is I want something new and fresh, and I want to confront, or I want to, make sure that there's a sense of risk involved. And I hope that you guys will do the same. And one of the reasons that I think that's really important is because when you're drawing, you can, one of the, there's a pose on the screen here. What could easily happen when you're drawing that pose is, you straighten it out. So instead of getting that angle on the torso, you straighten it out. Or instead of like doing for her butt there, instead of doing like a sharp angle, an interesting angle, or a big sweeping line, you want to get it just right, and you get nervous and the line gets a bit kind of tentative. So for the marks, for the proportions, everything requires us to take some risk. And actually learning to draw itself is a risky endeavor because there's no guarantee that it's ever going to work out, unfortunately. And so the spirit and the theme of this is risk and being okay with uncertainty. So every mark that you make, you got to take that leap of faith. And every drawing that you make, you got to take that leap of faith. And imagine two artists, one who never takes risk and is just certain, like every line is absolutely certain. They might make something pretty cool, but then imagine an artist who takes risks, and their marks, you don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. That sounds more fun. That sounds more interesting. So I think it's a good exercise. And in that spirit, I came across these pens that I've never used that my mum gave me ages ago. And I thought, I don't want to use those because they're pens. You can't rub them out. And I thought, you know what? If I'm afraid of using them, I need to use them and use them on a live stream. So I'm going to use those a little bit later, and we're going to do some other stuff which is all about uncertainty and risk. So that's enough of me talking. Let's get to some drawing. Oh, another cool thing that I thought of for embracing risk is instead of just reference photos where I've pre-selected them to make sure that we all have nice poses to draw, I've got some video. I've got some copyright-free video here, and I'm just going to randomly choose spots in these videos to give us random poses, and we don't know if they're going to be good poses. Oh, that's a nice pose. Or what it's going to be like. So I'm just trying to introduce as much unknown and uncertainty as possible. Okay, so the way that we're going to warm up is blind drawing. Okay, so it's going to be blind drawing, which means we can't look at the paper as we draw. Now, this is going to be quite hard for me because the reference for me is it is right next to the paper. So I'm gonna like put my hand up to block my own drawing, and I'm not gonna look at my own drawing even for 1 second. And we're just gonna draw it for like, I don't know, a minute or something, and we'll move on to the next one. But you know, you can be sure that I'm not looking, because my drawing's almost certainly going to come out really funny looking. So let's draw this pose, and I'm not going to look at the paper at all while I draw it, and you guys have to do the same, okay? And if your drawing comes out perfect, that's great, but you got to be honest with yourself. Like, did you look at the paper? You're not supposed to look, and you're supposed to embrace the idea that the drawing's going to come out funny looking. Because when you can't look at the paper, you can't make the lines make sense with each other, right? So, completely blind. And it's such a great place to start, because you already doing something that just doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna have a look at my drawing. Okay, that's actually not that bad. Okay, I need to try a little harder. Let's go to another pose. I'll give you guys a little bit more time to do that blind drawing. We want to get something real wonky, guys. Okay, so let's draw this one completely blind. I think that one I was actually not embracing the uncertainty enough. Just letting my arm move. That's what it's about. You know, you could try and like mentally track exactly where is my hand. I want to make sure the lines join up. But let's just let go as a starting point for this session. Gotta let go. You know, especially like I'm on a live stream on YouTube. I want the drawing to look like something, you know. But I gotta let go of it and just embrace it. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit more what I've got in mind. Sometimes you get quite nice marks when you do this kind of thing. I hope you guys are doing okay. My drawing looks just like his. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's do another pose. This lady's just, at the beginning of this one, she's like putting her phone down. So let's go with that one. Okay, not looking at the paper, just... and not really trying to keep track of things and make it look like something. Like trying to force it to look like something, but just seeing the figure and letting your arm do stuff, make marks, and letting go of that control, you know? Yeah, I often really like the marks that come out when doing this. So I'll give you guys a little bit more time to do that. And then we're going to move on to another cool exercise. One thing with today, I think, is we could just fill up pages, like let the drawings overlap and stuff. Doesn't matter too much. On the second drawing, the face was drawn on the woman's chest. That means you're doing it right. I drew the arm on the pelvis. Perfect. That proves to me that you are not looking. I've seen some artists who they're like, oh, here's my blind drawing, and it's perfect. And you're like, eh. Okay, let's do this one. You know, this is like, it's not just a silly exercise. It is actually really important to embrace uncertainty. Because, you know, it's not just for gesture drawing. Like, obviously, gesture drawing involves risk. I can't remember if I did her head, so I'll do her head there. Obviously, gesture drawing involves risk, right? You got to let your arm go. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, that one looks quite cool. But it'll mess up your proportions when you're too tentative. If you're really trying to make it perfect, often it can mess up your proportions because you get conservative and straighten the pose out, and the angles get wrong. Let's do a couple more. I'm having too much fun with it, so let's just keep going with this if you don't mind. Because there's something liberating about, you know, doing. Let me get the. I've got a guy doing a kettlebell swing. So, someone who's. That's what I should be doing during this lockdown. Okay. Let's go with this guy. By the way, guys, my wife is here next to me helping us out in the comments as Eat Science Up. She does really cool animations. Okay, I've lost. I have no track of what I've done or what I haven't done. So let me just do something there, and put the kettlebell there. Okay, that's the wonkiest one yet. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I can't remember. Just let it go. It's fine. Okay. So we have done some blind drawing. We might come back to that later if we start to stiffen up in all this in the middle. Maybe we could come back to that just to loosen up. Drawing escaped from the paper to the table. Wow, Louisa, that is next level blind drawing. That is good. That's really cool. Okay, next exercise, guys. What I'm going to do is I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to leave that guy there, but that's not what. If you guys just focus on the left side with my pencil here. Actually, I'll do this with a pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a random mark on the paper. Okay, like that. All right. And now what we're going to do is try and think of a way to turn this into a figure drawing from our imagination. And so you guys copy down this mark, and I'm going to try and do it my way, and you guys try and do it your way. And later you can go to community.lovelifedrawing.com or on Instagram or whatever you want to share your version, because I'd love to see what you did with this mark. So I'm going to try and do something with this mark now, and you guys try and figure out something yourself. So for example, you could turn that into an arm and draw a figure around it. I'm thinking maybe it could be a very bent back torso. Got this camera in my way. Okay, maybe it could be some kind of torso, like the bend on a bent back torso. Make it a lady doing like a dynamic pose. And how could her legs be? Maybe she could have that one coming out the back, so it's kind of a ballet pose, in which case, if that's the case, I think I might change this leg. Something like that. So does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that's making sense in the comments. Oh, there's the original mark there. It's just kind of like a sharp L shape. And it could have been an arm or a leg or anything. Hi Lucy, saw your animations on Instagram. They were really good. They are really good. And the cool thing is they're improving so much all the time. Okay, is that making sense to you guys? And it takes a bit of time, this, because I often have to I tried this just before this, and I often have to try and figure out what I could do with a line before I draw it. So I give you guys a little bit more time. This was the mark, and you can have an extra go if you want. It was something like that. So just a random one. Maybe we could ask Lucy to give us a simple pair of lines like that one on that paper.
Just a pair of lines.
Just a line, a random mark. And maybe 2 lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. obviously is a neck. Oh, right, yeah, okay. It does make sense. Okay, cool. So here's the marks that Lucy's given us. So I'm going to put them on some paper. Like that. All right, we've got to figure out what to do with that. Oh my god, I don't know what. I wonder if it could be. Well, you guys copy that down, and don't worry about what I'm doing. You do it your way, and I want to see what you guys do with this. Because my idea is that maybe this could be like a sort of arm. It could be someone's back, and it could be like an arm. Two arms. Yeah, and this arm is kind of coming back. And so that's their butt. First time catching a live stream. Elbow cough. Ah, elbow cough. I'm glad that that's become a big thing. Even before the coronavirus, I was super into elbow cough. So I was thinking it could be the back of someone's head. I don't know if that works, but that's part of the fun, right? Can't wait to see what you guys do with that. So that was the original shape. Can we do backgrounds? You know what? You can do whatever you want. I mean, this is... Don't make the shape part of the background, because make the shape part of the figure, like that's the exercise. But if you want to add a background, that'd be cool. But you got to figure out a way to make the original shape part of a figure. And then you can add whatever you want around it. So maybe we can ask Lucy for another one. And this time, maybe have 2 marks again. Yeah, 2 marks again. Just anything you like, random. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. That's okay. Could be the curvature of the back. It totally could. It could. That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. And let me know if you guys need more time, or just, you know, you can always pause it. Can you pause a live stream? I guess that defeats the purpose. Okay, so that's the next shape. So I'm going to copy that down. That's the brush. Pen. Sorry, there it is. So it's just basically a sort of zigzag shape. Very angular, very difficult. So it's basically like that. Put that there. Okay, so you guys copy that down and figure out what you're going to do with this. Man, she's not making life easy for us. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, let's go for it. Well, that could be... I'm too tempted to make that a torso again, like the first one. Let's do something different. It could be that's an arm, and then that, and it's just like an arm sort of... Does that make sense? An arm on a leg like that? No, because there'd be space between the elbow and the leg. You figure this out. So maybe it does make sense. Okay, let's just try it. Put a head on. Maybe put them on a chair. Huh. Our arm has just become really long. I don't think that makes sense. I'm going to do it again. Zigzag like that. Okay. So if you want to share any of these drawings, just go to our website, lovelifedrawing.com, and there's a tab at the top. Oh, terrible handwriting. Anyway, you guys know lovelifedrawing.com. There's a tab at the top, community, and you can log in there and share your drawings there. And after the session, I can't wait to see what you guys have done with these. Okay. I got to figure something out with this. Okay, so it could be just something like this. Someone maybe doing some kind of exercise. I have no idea what they're doing, but as long as it looks like a human figure could feasibly conform to that shape, then it doesn't really matter. Something like that. Okay, let's do a couple more. Armpit and triangle breast. Yeah, that's really good. Let's ask Lucy for one more, maybe two marks this time. Yeah. No, that's fine. It doesn't matter. So anything's fine. Okay. Let's go. Okay, so there's the next one. Okay, I'm going to copy that down. So it's a line like that, and then a kind of curving line that goes into it. Okay. Someone getting hit in the back and been sent flying. Yes. That's so cool. Okay. So that to me looks like... Okay, you guys copy that down and think about it, what you want to do. To me, that looks like something disappearing behind something else. Okay. Could it be... do it light so I can change it, but could it be like... It could be a shoulder. Yeah, maybe they're wearing a vest. And I don't know what they're doing, but that's their armpit kind of thing. That's one version. Let's do it again. That's a nice one. So it's a line like that, and then a curving line below it. So what else could that be? It could be... Hello from Israel. Hi, Aina. How you doing? Pretty challenging. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's good. A good little workout for your brain to get yourself thinking about different parts of the figure and what these things could be. So I'm drawing a blank here, but I feel like there's so many options with this, and now I'm just stuck on it being an arm. Like I can't see it any other way. Okay, maybe this could be a butt, and then that is someone's elbow. Like that. Does that make any sense? I think that could work. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys make of these. So that's like her thigh and her hip. Spine to the middle of the shoulder. Yeah, that's cool. Butt. Yep. Yep, definitely. Could be a butt. Straight line as a back. Yeah, back can be a straight line. So, yeah, so the exercise is, if anyone's just coming in, we're taking a random shape or pair of lines and trying to turn them into a figure. And then we'll just do some figure drawing and maybe go back to blind drawing when we've stiffened up and feeling like we need to relax a bit. Okay, so I'll let you guys do that one a little bit more. And then like another few seconds. And then we're going to move on. I might come back to that exercise too, because that is too fun. Foreshortening. Are you bringing in foreshortening, Maria? That's very ambitious and very cool. Throat of a head turned up. Throat of a head turned up. Wow, I really want to see that one. That sounds okay. Yes. So is that the neck, and then that's like the jawline? Cartoon figures. That's fine. Do whatever you need to do. You stylize it if you want. Torso to armpit guide. Yeah, perfect. Okay, guys. So the next exercise that we're going to do is, I should bring up on this fancy new software, I should bring up a timer. So we're just going to try and do some 30-second drawings. Is that? Oops, it's already started. Did we? Okay, so let's just go for it with this pose that's already there. Because I don't think, did we draw that one? Maybe we just did a blind one of that one. So 30 seconds on the clock, no time to think, just draw, make your lines, just like in the blind drawing. Don't worry about it, right? Just take that same spirit into it and let's just go for it. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds, there's no time for correction, there's no time for thinking, there's no time for concern. There's just time to have fun and do what you can. 15 seconds left. Ah! Draw the kettlebell. And 3 seconds left. There's that arm. And we'll grab another random moment. Well, that's pretty cool. And go again. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay. Oh wow, I've only got 20 seconds now because I just adjusted something. Okay. 20 seconds. His shoulders raised up. His rib cage is leaning back. There's no time to think. His kind of balance is a little bit on his heels, it seems. Oh, time's run out. Okay. Okay, let's go to. Should do the one of these and pause. Reset the timer and go. All we're actually doing now is, I got that wrong, doesn't matter, no time to correct it. All we're actually doing now is warming up because we're going to try and do something funky in the next part. So don't worry about how your drawings turn out because we're still just, time is up, I've got to keep an eye on the time. Next pose, let's do that one, reset the timer and draw. Okay. So what I'm thinking for the next exercise is let's try something let's try and draw in a way that we haven't drawn before, like as in individually. So we're going to just try something different. And I have an idea of what I'm going to try. Oh, I got to keep an eye on the time. Okay, next pose. That one. I think it's just important to try new things sometimes. You got to practice your basic skills, of course. And you can't just try and do something new every time. But every once in a while, you got to do something fresh. Okay, time's up on that one. Okay, reset the clock and go. So just think of this like a warm-up, yeah? Because when you do this, I think drawing is like a sport. It's just like exercise, more than an academic endeavor. And when you do a sport, you have to warm up. If you want to play it well, if you want to play whatever sport it is well. Okay, time's up on that one. Okay. We're gonna do just gonna go into the comments. How do you draw that lower leg? It looks good. Is that on this one? One of the things about lower legs is to make sure you get the tapering off to the ankle, and you can exaggerate it. So like here, you know, that leg, if you taper it off to nothing, that's good. I think often people will not taper it enough and make it like parallel lines, but you want to get that tapering. Okay, next one. Let's check. These are random time points in royalty-free exercise videos. Exactly. How do you decide where to start? You just go. I think different people have different thoughts on that. That pose is too similar to the last one we did. So I do something else. Oh, that was cool. She was like, this is like floating in the air. Okay, reset the time. Yeah, people have like, oh, you got to start from the head, or you got to do this and that. But you know, if you start from the head, that's fine. And then you're not worried about it because you know what you're going to do. You're always going to start from the head. If you start from the rib cage, that's fine. If you start from the weight-bearing leg, some people start with, I honestly don't think it matters as long as you start. Oh, time's up. Did I even do the timer on that one? Okay, another one. Oh, that's kind of different. Okay, let's go. $30. I was going to do 15 seconds, but I feel like for 15 seconds you have to draw really, really small. Not really small, but you have to draw pretty small. And it wouldn't make for a great live stream to be doing lots of little drawing. You just don't have time to do bigger drawings. Okay, next one. Just do them and move on. Do something different. That's different. Okay. Even 30 seconds, I don't think you would do as big gestural quick drawings as you would if you had a minute or if you had 2 minutes. Just literally because I don't think there's time to fill up much space. You know, normally we always advocate for drawing bigger. Okay, time's up on that one. But when it's a really quick one, there's no time. She's really jogging on the spot, but before she starts jogging, there you go. Okay, let's do that one. So, there's so many different approaches to the figure, and they've all got great points to them. And I think there's so many different approaches that are worth studying. And you don't need to limit. I don't think you have to limit yourself to any specific rules too much. Just find things that you enjoy doing. Time's up. Okay. So, Chamara says, dull. Okay. I made a man doing a somersault. Awesome. Oh man, I have to go. No worries. There'll be a recording anyway. So what we're going to do is, now for this last bit, we might do some blind drawing again if we feel like we're getting a bit tense, is we are going to try drawing in a way that we are not used to drawing. And I've done this before on the live stream, and really enjoyed it. Let me get my iPad. So I don't know if you guys remember, but what we tried doing on the live stream was an exercise where we drew from the shadow shapes first, and then we tried doing some abstract shapes, and it was really fun. It was really cool. But so this is our Instagram, at Kenzo and Mako. Check it out. But so, I've been doing drawings like this, say, and then doing gestural, like 2-minute drawings like this, or like that. I've been doing that for a while. And then after that exercise on the live stream with the abstract shapes, I did something like this, and I thought, well, it's just worth pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because I had so much fun doing something a bit different. And that was thanks to the live stream, because I don't think I would have done that if I hadn't been trying to think of funky exercises for the live stream. So I thought, why don't we keep, you don't have to always do something new. Like I said, you got to practice stuff over and over again, but every now and then it's important to just try something. So what I decided to try this time is trying some pen, because that way, that's risky because you can't rub it out and you've got to commit to it, and seeing if I can combine it with the Conti crayon that I've been trying. And I'm not saying you have to try pen and crayon or whatever. I'm just saying try some. It doesn't have to be a new material, but just try something different. Now, I did just test before if this was going to work out, and I think and this is what I came up with, these sketches from these poses. But if I was really doing this exercise properly, I wouldn't have tried it beforehand. I would have just taken the risk. So that's something I got to work on, is next time I should just take the risk. So I'm going to get rid of this timer. We're going to come up with a random pose and try something unusual. And so what that could be, it can vary, it can vary for different people, but here are some ideas. One is you could try straight lines. So you just draw the whole thing with straight lines. Another is that you use geometric shapes. So you're just going to use lots of geometric shapes to draw this pose, Another, so straight lines or geometric shapes. You could start from the shadows, start from the tone, start from the shapes of the dark, and then create your drawing around those, rather than thinking about outline first. So, or it could be a new material. But the point is, let's all try something new that we haven't tried before. And just see what happens. And don't worry if it all goes wrong. So let's try and draw this pose and have fun with it. And I'm going to try this pen combined with crayon thing, and you guys try whatever you want to try. Of those examples that I just gave, if you're not sure what you want to try, I think straight lines is, if you don't do that much, is a great one. I mean, it's really valuable. Using abstract geometric shapes as much as you can is also a really good one. I'm just literally trying to draw. The thing about pen is, you can't come up with, well, you can, but you wouldn't be able to kind of do them lightly. It's like your initial structural marks and things. So you just got to go, like your line is the final line. So normally you might want to do like a light kind of egg shape for the rib cage, and maybe another egg shape for the pelvis, and a ball for the head. But with a pen, I think you just got to go for it for the sort of final mark. Okay. So I've kind of messed up some of the proportions on this, but it doesn't matter. Earlier I said one of the goals for this is going to be a failed drawing, so keep that in mind as you're experimenting. We've got to get some failures for this to be a success. So this is like a brush version of this pen, which is quite cool. And something that I've seen before is there's an artist called Chris Glib on Instagram who uses fine liner pen, kind of like this. And something that he does is sometimes put like a thicker outline around the figure, which can look quite cool. Okay. Oops. I just moved the pose. Damn it. Let me try and get it, because I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. It's part of the uncertainty principle here. I'm just shockingly moving the changing the pose halfway through. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me check what's going on in the comments. What am I using in the shadows? I'm using a Conti crayon. And it makes these cool, because it's square, this is something I'm just getting into recently. It makes those kinds of marks and those kind of marks. I'm just trying to figure out how to use that because it looks so cool. I had such bad practice session yesterday. After having one, I was really happy about 2 days ago, Andre. Well, you know what? That is, if you had a good practice session, that's awesome. So, bad practice sessions are a part of the whole process. I have to leave early, Yola. No worries. Drawing with the same pen as you. Cool. A black one, yeah. Being risky in drawing really brings out the creativity. Absolutely, Ramona. I totally agree. Okay. Are you guys cool with moving on to the next one? Another pose? Yeah?
So did you move the position into more like what your drawing was like?
Oh, right. Jacqueline, you said, oh, I see. So I moved the pose and now it looks more like your drawing. Well, you know what? You're welcome. Okay, let's go to the other lady doing cool poses. All right, let's try this one. Mr. Andrew, you have a question? Go for it. Okay, let's try and draw this one. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I hardly have been using pen, and I used to use it more. I basically went through a phase where I realized I'm so tentative and I'm rubbing things out so much to correct them, and I need to break out of it. And so every material is like a teacher, and charcoal taught me not to be too detailed, like a willow charcoal taught me not to be too detail oriented, and then pen taught me to commit to lines. I feel like maybe I need to use pen more often, because I hadn't really used it for ages. And you just got to go for it. The opposite of that is like digital, where you can just completely erase stuff or lighten the opacity, put a new layer on the top. The pen is the opposite of all that. I've actually found an app recently to help me learn more about painting. And the cool thing about this app is not how many features it has, but how many features it doesn't have, because it's so restrictive. And so you just got to focus on what matters. And you can't really like blend and get all fiddly with it. Oh, this camera's not really on what I'm doing. Doesn't matter, because I know all you guys are just looking at your own drawings. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe make a video about this painting app called Heavy Paint, and why I think it's been really beneficial for me, and how putting restrictions on yourself is often one of the best ways to learn. Because when I first, there's this app on the iPad called Procreate, and it's so good, and it can do everything. It's amazing, but it's almost paralyzing how much you can do. So, okay, that looks okay. I'll let you guys keep going. I think I need to loosen up. Maybe we do some more blind drawings. We've only got 10 minutes. There's no time. Okay. So how could I start with anatomy, and how can I use my references? Well, one thing about anatomy is there's different layers to it, yeah? So I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes to keep drawing this pose, and then we'll do some more. But this question about anatomy, there's different layers to it, yeah? So the first layer is just like the rib cage shape, seeing it, finding it in the figure and the pelvis. Not really all the fiddly things about all the different muscles and stuff, but just seeing these, like, especially skeletal landmarks and things, which you probably already know, but learning to use them in drawing. And so that's not really about like learning new stuff. It's just about applying what you already know about anatomy into a drawing. And then with that, you can do simple drawings, and you can even start doing gestural drawings, and you can start to find simple forms. You can start to turn an arm into a cylinder shape and all that kind of stuff. And then to build on top further, you might study more anatomy, the next layer. And you might learn a bit about the back muscle, and maybe some muscles that you don't know that much about, like the teres major or something. But that's kind of deep into it, I think, in my opinion. It's not an early days thing that you have to study. So there's different layers to it, and then eventually you can go really deep if you want to. Should we bring up that guy doing a kettlebell swing? And let's try and draw this guy. Sorry, I just changed the pose suddenly. It's all part of the theme today, which is accepting uncertainty. So let's go for this guy. Let's see what happens. You okay?
Someone's asking about how you find the shadows and black and white references.
How to find the shadows in black and white references. Find the shadows. So hopefully on this guy, you can see the shadows pretty clearly, right? There's an edge. And actually often I think a black and white reference would make it easier, no? Because it's just, all you get is the values, and you're not kind of being confused by different, hues, different colors. But with lighting like this, it's probably easier because he's being lit from one side. So he has clear-cut shapes of dark and shapes of light on his figure. The trickier thing is when someone's being lit by more ambient light, which is just like light being reflected off lots of surfaces all over the place and then hitting his body not evenly, but not in a sort of clear-cut way. And that's quite tricky. But I think the good starting point is with figures in direct light, like this, where the shadow shapes are very clear cut, and then you can kind of practice that for a while, and then you get better with more comfortable, and then you can have slightly more complicated lighting. And one thing you can do is just start to make decisions about what's in light and what's in dark, where the decision for this guy is pretty straightforward: what's in light and what's in dark. This one thinking I've made his lower half a bit small, but anyway. And you get better and better at making those decisions, and then you can apply it to more subtle stuff, I hope that makes some sense. Right now I've got this sheet of paper kind of angled to my eyes too much to let the camera see it, but I wonder if it's because you want the paper perpendicular to your eyes, and when it's at an angle to your eyes, your proportions get messed up. So I think that could be happening to me right now. But I really like this thing, so I want to put my kind of container line around this. This is the idea that I've had for today. Put like a thick graphic style container line around it, combine the pen with the crayon, and see what happens, and see if it looks cool. Just try it. I don't know how much, what proportion of practice should be dedicated to just experimenting and trying new stuff. I haven't quite figured that out. Clearly, a lot of practice should be just dedicated to developing technical skill. But if that's all you do, where's the creative element to that, Oh yeah, I didn't put one around this lady. I wonder if it will give it more power. So you give you guys a bit more time on that pose, and then we've got 7 minutes, so I think we could fit in one more. Oh, I did have a funny exercise we could try if we have time at the end. Do on this lady, I think I really reduced the size of her lower legs, which I'm always telling people not to do. Another thing, I watched a video recently on YouTube, and a guy, an artist, was saying one thing you have to do is believe in your own taste and be guided by it. Because rather than just following different schools and just adopting everything that they do, you've got to allow yourself to some extent to be guided by what you like and your taste. And I think that's so true, and I think that was such good advice. I was scared to draw with pen, I know. That's why it's so good. You got to do stuff that's a bit scary, right? That's why I'm doing these live streams. It looks like a sports game logo. Well, that's good. A sports game logo, if that's what your drawing looks like, means you really captured... A logo is like capturing the essence of something, right? I have to sleep. No problem. Yeah, right, Jack? If you only practice, you gotta experiment to let it. It's got to be fun, man. That's, you gotta find that thing that makes it super fun and enjoyable inside. Thank you for these streams. They've been my therapy through quarantine. Oh, cool. Yeah, life drawing is a great way to do it. Sylvester says, trust the process. Advice for your mentor. I agree. Don't worry about the outcome, but trust the process. Your shadow's getting mixed up. Okay. What can I do to help with that? I want to... Can I show it on the... Oh, God. I need to... Do you know what? I might have to do that in the next stream because I need the iPad hooked up to show you those edges. But like, there are clear-cut edges around those shadow shapes, and all you need is that edge. You don't need anything else, just the edge. This is the 5th one, Mega. That's absolutely right. If this is your 5th one, then you haven't missed any. Okay, well, we don't have too much time left, so I'm thinking let's do something kind of silly for the last one to just relax back down again. And okay, I found this video on one of those copyright-free thingies, copyright-free video things. It's actually not just silly because it's like a figure made of cross contour lines. And when you can start to see a figure not just in terms of the outline going up and down them, but like I'm gonna make a video about this, but you think of a finger as this, right? You think of a finger as long, like that, yeah? But that is also a finger. That shape is also a finger, right? And if you can start to see a finger as the shape, the shapes going around it and the length of it, then you're in a good position. I better not draw another circle shape here because it could start to look a bit dodgy, couldn't it? Okay, so what we're going to do is try and draw these lines that are going around this dancing person. I have no idea what's going to happen with it. They're not exactly the cross contour lines that you would use to draw a figure because they're on a diagonal. I mean, this person who's made this cool video is really cool, but it's not like exactly going around the form in the way you would want to see it because they're all on diagonals to make it look cooler. But it doesn't matter. So it's just for fun. So let's just try drawing them. Okay. I do recommend though, if you, I haven't done it enough, but trying to draw figures this way, not exactly this way, but in terms of the lines that go around the form, rather than what ring am I on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Rather than just the lines going like up and down and around the form, the outline. So around the legs. Guys, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think the technical stuff, the technology, is starting to work on these live streams. No problems today, so far. I need to start crediting the people who make these copyright-free things. Do better with that next time, because this is, I don't know how they did this. I think I think that we're missing a bit, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, you can see the whole thing then. See the whole of the arms. Okay, that was pretty fun. Nice to draw with a pen, I agree. Yeah, I got lost which rings I was drawing to. It's motion capture. Yeah, it's cool. I'll give you guys a little bit more time to draw that. Helps you see the whole volume, I agree. Live modeling on screen in quarantine time. Yes, I would like to do. I want to figure out a way to support some live drawing models because obviously this is a tough time for them. But you know, I've barely got the technology side working as it is. So bringing in a live model, unless we ask them to record it first. It's very psychedelic, yeah. Okay, I'm going to play it. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to play it, and we pause it one more time, and that'll be the last drawing. So, ooh, no. Don't want the rings to overlap too much, because it will be so tricky. Whew, that's tricky. That's too hard. Oh, we're not getting enough of the volume there. We want to see the rings as rings, right? Don't want to make it too hard. This is so fun to watch. That looks cool. You can see a lot of the rings here. Okay, last drawing, guys. After this, I recommend going over to Croquis Cafe or something like that and continuing your drawing session because you'll be warmed up after this and loose and in a good, you know, after doing those exercises, all about like trying and taking risks and trying something funky. I think it's a good moment to then go off and do some practice. And if you have time, I find it often takes like an hour of drawing to get warmed up or more. But that lean on the torso is very cool. Okay, how many rings is that? 1, 2, 3. So I'm drawing that one. I've got I don't know if you guys remember, but we did an animation challenge last year and I loved it so much. Everyone submitted drawings for and we combined them all into an animated figure. And I want to bring that back this year. So, and my idea is, and I don't know where I can find this, but it's like going to be, if I can find it, is someone running, jumping over something, like just running in the middle of the screen, and then they jump over something, and that will be the loop, and everyone can like have him jumping over different things. So I really want to figure that one out. Okay. Sylvester says, imagine doing figure drawing in virtual reality. Yeah. Man, the possibilities, huh? Hey, look. You know something that's interesting? I'm just looking at my drawing of this and that one side by side. Look how I straightened out the pose a bit. the real angle is sharper than my drawing. So that conservative side of ourselves applies to even neon ring versions of figures. That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. You get rid of those. Someone just spamming. Okay. Give link to this to the rings. Okay, yeah, cool. I will do that. I'll put it in the comments of this video or something. Okay, guys, I think that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what you guys did over in the community area, community.lovelifedrawing.com. You can also post on Instagram. Our Instagram is at Kenzo. Man, why do I bother writing it if the handwriting is completely illegible? At Kenzo and Mako on Insta. And then you can go to the community. If you go to love, I'll write it slowly. Life. Wow, I'm so bad at writing. .com, and then click on the community tab, and you can join up there and share your drawings. I hope you guys are doing okay in lockdown, and I'll see you next week. I think I'm going to do these every Saturday, hopefully. So I will see you guys next week.